My name is Jana. I've been teaching English for hundreds of years, and English grammar is my hobby. Well, I think I'll take the liberty of giving you a very small advice, a few tips actually, of how to handle English tenses. And my advice is, of course, towards non-native speakers of English, okay? But I have to admit that sometimes even native speakers of English, people that I have taught Bulgarian, for example, as a foreign language, have asked me about their own 12 tenses. So the English language has 12 grammatical tenses. I'm doing, I've been doing, I'll be doing, I have been doing, I had been doing, I was doing, I will have done, I had done, I don't know, I didn't count, so I don't know whether I mentioned all of them, but there are 12 tenses. Now, why the English language has 12 tenses? Well, most of us in Europe have 3, 4, or 5 at the most, probably 6 maybe, but not more than that usually. Why the English language has 12 tenses is another story. Well, this is the reason for that can be found in the history of the English language and in the mentality, in the way of thinking of the philosophy, so to speak, of English-speaking cultures. But this is not what I'm going to talk to you about today. What I want to tell you is actually a few small tips, 1 or 2 small tips of how to handle English tenses, because if you have problems using English tenses, then you have problems using English grammar, and if you have problems using English grammar, then you have problems using the English language and feeling comfortable and confident when you're speaking it. And well, the English tenses, the tenses in the English language and English grammar are focal, they're central to English grammar. Without them, you barely can say anything. And now, paradoxically, the tip I'll give you is to practically try to practically forget about them, especially if you are at a lower level. Now, if you are a beginner, if you are at an elementary level or an intermediate level in the English language, don't try to learn all these 12 tenses. Stick to 3. Present simple, I do, I live, I work. Past simple, I was, I did, I lived, I worked. Future simple, I will do, I will work, I will live, things like that. Well, you will not always sound very, very, elegant, but it doesn't matter. In English, there is no wrong and right very often. What matters is whether people understand you, and with the number of words that you need, with some more confidence, with a lot of practice, you'll be able to get your message across using only 3 tenses: present simple, past simple, and future simple. With time, as you move along, as you develop, as you accumulate more knowledge, you can of course learn more tenses, and I would encourage that, of course, and eventually you would get all the 12 tenses. That will give you the confidence to be able to say practically anything in the English language. I mean, anything that's related to the tenses, of course, to time. So for now, stick to as few tenses as possible, and maybe it's a good idea to try and find somebody, not necessarily me, who can explain to you the logic of these tenses, because English grammar has no rules, but it has logic, and you need to know this logic to feel comfortable with it. Most English tenses cannot be translated into the tenses of the European languages, and even though, for example, the most difficult English tenses, which are the present perfect tense, I have done, I have been, or I have been doing, I have been living, these actually have no counterparts in Europe. And the present perfect tense I have done